All right. Here you are. All right, last session is about practical aspects of plugging in and turning off. We're going to go through the whole thing because it's all off and turn it back on. And then we're going to talk a little bit about troubleshooting. I've got a couple of slides here to help us out. This one's not much of a slide. It just says let's do some practice. So why don't we turn the system on?
Okay.
Let's go over and have a look. So now we remember something about turning the system on.
First is the power.
That's right. Yep. Now, which one of these?
Well, this is the sound system. That's just a TV.
That's right. Yeah, perfect.
And then
Yep, we can do
speakers.
that. Because we've got all the channels muted.
And then the instruments.
Well, yeah, there's actually a couple of other steps here, which is worth mentioning.
Oh, the fallback.
That's right. Now, you've turned that one on. Now, what else could be a problem here?
If they've been turned off on the actual unit.
Have they?
Well, they never normally are.
Yeah, they are, because I did.
You
want to turn them on?
Properly. Where's the on-off button? I don't
Can
even
you see
know.
at the bottom?
Oh, there. Yeah. Okay.
They're both the same. Yep, that's it. Now they're the vocal mics. There's a little trick for the instrument, vocal foldback. There's for these two bigger bins, which are passive bins, they need an amplifier, just like the old speakers from when we were kids.
Which is the Yamaha.
That's exactly right. So you want to turn that one on?
Where do I turn that one on?
All right, let's have a look. There's only one
That one?
switch. That's it. That one's pretty easy. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got everything wired up here. Now we plug in our instrument. Now I've got my little guitar here
Yeah.
and a cable. Why don't we plug that into guitar 1, which is just this one here.
All right. Does it matter which end is which?
No, doesn't.
Guitar one. Where's the hole?
Good question. On the other side. Hang on, don't be so quick. There's a link, which can mean that you can link between multiple. Sorry, I'll turn it around. There's someone's attenuated this too, by the way. It's that one there. See
I
what
see
says
input.
input. So
Yep.
the link can move between multiple DI boxes. If you wanted to, for instance, have a stereo system or a system that's running 2 different amplifiers, that's it. Yeah.
Well, no, it has to go that way because that one won't.
No, that's right.
It won't go in.
Yeah, well,
It won't go in. It's too long a thing. Oh, sorry.
it's all right.
I think it can go in.
Yeah. Well, why don't we bring it up so you can plug it in? I'll hold that. You do that. That's it.
Okay,
Done.
I was trying to slide it too flat.
And this guitar's turned up on 10 already, as
Yeah.
you can see. But that's another thing that's possible to get it wrong. But there's no
Because
sound.
it's muted.
That's a good call. Good call. So let's go and unmute it over on the desk. Yeah, we'll go this way because I've done made our workspace OHS positive. So which one's the guitar? It's guitar 1. That's it.
So we unmute it.
That's it.
Can we give it something?
You can do that. There's 2 things we could do here. We could, remember we've got our
Oh,
planes
you can
and
do
our
that one,
streams.
the-
Yeah, so why don't we do that? I'll tell you what, I'll go and strike it.
Okay.
And you can play around with these 2
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
One's for the vocal and one's for the instrument. All right. So why don't we take it all out? I don't want to hear anything in the instrument foldback, but I want to hear it in the vocal foldback. It's coming. That's working, yep. Good. And do it in the instrument foldback. Now take it out of the instrument foldback. That's what you've done just there. Why don't we try and run it through the front of house? So remember the outputs from the gorges are the big sliders. Pull that up. Good, you're not hearing anything? That's right. That's exactly right. Now why don't you try and use the left side of the red, the streams. So you can make them stereo, you can have them running through there. What do you remember on the inputs, sorry, the outputs, the gauges, the outputs, there's a thing called pan. Can you see that line? Just above the sliders?
Pan?
Yeah, can you see pan?
Above the sliders. Above PFL and mute. Oh, pan, yeah.
Yep. So why don't we try and pan the signal across the left and right? So bring up the instrument. And then use the pan to bring them across the... All right. Have it on full left and right. Ah, full left. I'm coming over. It's all right. A little bit tricky when you've got one person.
Oh, I was moving the base one.
Yeah, so that's a classic. Which think horizontal then vertical. It's kind of like that, isn't it?
I went across one. Yeah. I was moving the wrong one.
Let's have a feel. What it sounds like. You'll get to hear it. I'll just strum away just so we get the feel. And you can sort of play around with it and swing it around between the... It's all right. That has happened before. We can leave that on, that's all good. Or you can mute the channel if you wish. So we've done a little plug-in exercise, which is great. That makes life a lot easier. And you can sort of see all the steps between the source, power, back to the desk and out to the speakers. So you've kind of covered the whole structure of the system. That's great. Why don't we go and look at our vocal problem that could have happened the other day? Let's just trace what could have happened. We'll plug one in. So this is the microphone. Do you want to plug? You've plugged these in before, obviously.
Yep.
Could they hear anything out the front the other day?
Not from this microphone. The wireless handheld was coming through clearly, but this one was not. And I was like, well, it was working fine in our service, so I don't know what's changed.
Stuff things up. Dearie, mate. All right. Well, let's try it out.
I don't know if they fixed it later on, so, or whether they just never got it fixed.
Yeah, they do mess.
Try speaking to it.
I will. So just before we start, now, by the way, this one has no light.
Yes, yeah, I know that one. Yes.
You're probably aware of that. What we could do, well, there's a couple of things we could do. We could do it through the speakers. What's another way we could do it?
Well, there's the headphones.
That's right. How do we activate them?
The headphones?
Yeah, as in activate a channel. So if we wanted to hear specifically, which channel is that? That's channel...
Vocal 1.
Yeah. So that's vocal 1. How will we put them specifically through the file?
I don't know.
What was that button there? That was pre-fader listening.
Yeah.
So if you activate that, the light goes on, and you can hear them in the headphones. So we could try that.
Oh, okay.
It's actually muted, so you won't
I
hear
didn't know
it.
because when I couldn't hear it in the headphones, I thought it wasn't working.
No. But it's muted at the moment, so it won't do anything.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yes, you can hear me. Good. It's actually coming through the foldbacks too. So, but it could be anywhere between, let's think about what parts. Two. Check. We have to actually step through what components there are. It's literally like going through, I don't know, a building, an electrician going through the building and going, why is that fan not working? It's the same sort of thing. What I did just before too, was I actually unplugged and plugged in the jack. It's called a jack, this by the way, at the input. Because sometimes people jerk on things. So literally, that's the first point of call. Suze, you want to come over? I'll show you.
So if that pre-phase is activated, you don't hear it in here?
You can, but you have to have it turned up quite loud. Yep.
I thought this was just listening to whatever's coming out of here.
No. It is normally,
Yeah.
unless you've got that plugged on.
Oh.
And of course, what's
okay.
going on? it's on 0.
Yeah.
And same with this. So that would have to, if you had that up there and that up there,
Oh,
then
so
you would
this
hear
kind
it.
of overrides this, is what you're listening
That's
to?
exactly right.
Okay, now I follow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's go over to the microphone, because I think it was a good question. What could go wrong with a microphone? So we've clipped in this. You want to clip it in? That's point first.
Yep.
Technically, we should have it muted, but that's all right. That's the first point. The second one, these numbers match up to the desk naturally because they've all been coded up. Number 2, is that plugged in correctly?
Yeah.
I've just tested it is.
Yeah.
We might just, so that felt a little bit like it wasn't in properly. That can be a source, because if people
Yeah.
have been, what you'll notice here is
Or if
that,
they've plugged something else in and they're not put it back properly.
yep, happens often.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've actually wrapped some of these cables around,
Yeah.
so that
They can't
people
be
don't
walked
trip up. Yeah, exactly. Because it's happened often. Where else? Oh, then it goes all the way through the snake, so we have to do all the other work at the desk, really. And you can see it works, so
Yeah.
no problem there. So then we have to look through the inputs to the gorge. Is there anything here? Is the gain turned down? Is the foldback, are the 2 foldbacks for the streams not working? Are the masters not working?
Yeah.
What else?
Is it turn up here?
That's
Is it turn
right.
up there? Yeah.
Foldbacks, yeah. And probably the most important one,
Is it muted?
that is normally
Especially on vocal 2 where the light doesn't work.
that is the biggest problem. Not working. And you can see it's not easy to see that that's the bass channel and not the guitar channel.
Yeah.
And so that is a cause for problems too. Okay. Well, and that really answers this first one. Well, let's go to troubleshooting right now.
Yeah.
Is it muted? Always a classic problem. What could be here? This one.
Is it turned on?
Is it turned on? That's right. This one's a little
And the
bit...
other classic thing here is the City of Adoration turned the sound desk off at the bottom at the back.
Oh, yeah.
And so sometimes people go, the sound desk won't turn on, and then I reach over the back and...
I wish they would just leave it as they found it. But anyway, all good. This one's a little bit more uncommon, but it happened to me. Now, let's... so I'll just move this. See, they've got... These are the 2... wireless systems we've got working now. Notice they've got numbers on them. Now, what would happen if they were both set to channel 1?
Oh, they clash.
They clash, and so you get nothing. And that actually happened once. I don't quite know why, but someone, if it ever does happen, you have to turn one that you're happy to leave as is off, and then activate the other one, and then press this set scan button.
Yeah.
So then that will break it up.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's ways of getting around it, but and we don't use the Sennheiser one anymore because it's got a broken clip on it, so it's sitting on your desk.
Yeah.
Now, this one, what does that remind you of?
Reminds me of microwave button dials. I don't know
Well,
what's
these are not
supposed to remind
that's
me of.
auxiliary 1 and auxiliary 2.
Oh, those ones, okay.
So it's really what I think the question is, why aren't I hearing myself in this auxiliary or at all? It's because they haven't been dialed up. So
Yeah.
you need to dial. Oh, you really want to hear yourself sing through that? Okay, we'll turn it up for the wireless B, or what have you. You know, it's about selecting the right ones. Why aren't I hearing it in the crying room with the remote mic? It'll be because of auxiliary 3 or 4. There's one extra one for these too. These are called post fader. So what do you think might be the issue with post fader? And say we wanted to hear wireless B here, which is on channel 15. I want to hear that in that room in there. What's the problem? What problems are there with this channel at the moment?
Well, it's not sending anything through.
Good, that's good. Yep. So you has to actually set. That's key. The rule of thumb generally I say is try and get it above 0 to send into these channels. It needs a strong post fader signal. But there's one other thing too.
Just muted.
Yeah, that's right. Say we're unmuted as well.
Yeah.
That gives you the gist. What else we got? That's a pretty obvious one.
Yep, take the batteries out and...
Put the batteries in.
Put the batteries in if it's not working. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. There's 2 missing there at the moment.
Just in them.
We can probably fix that while we're at it. Yeah, it's pretty normal. So we just deal. fact.
We get $6,000 a year in rentals.
This is being recorded. Okay. Here we go. We're doing the rectifications ourselves. Excellent. Couple of last ones. Now this one's actually a really interesting one. We understand why pointing a microphone at a speaker is not a good thing to do.
Yeah, feedback.
Feedback creates a loop.
Oh.
Why is it then that microphone over there, which is pointed towards a singer, can be near a microphone?
So which one are you talking about?
Oh, let's go over and walk over. In fact, let's turn the signal on just so we can play. It's on. Let's give ourselves a bit. Yep. This microphone here should be active. So it's not creating any feedback. In fact, we can probably move it even closer to the speaker. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I can move it right up.
It's not causing a problem yet.
Yeah. But if I did that, and the reason why is because this is what they call a cardioid pattern dynamic microphone. It's not powered, it's unpowered. But see those holes there? It actually prevents sound from being produced from this direction.
Oh.
So it won't hear me from here, but it'll hear me from here.
Yep.
It's so when you see people doing this, so you're not actually getting much out of the microphone at all, whereas you're getting a lot out there.
Yeah.
So that's just something worth noting. And the last one that was on the page, let's go over and look at this. And you saw it before yourself. This amplifier needs to be turned on, the same with the fallbacks. So that's
We've had that once before. People were all confused, and finally, I think I rang you and you were troubleshooting, and you mentioned that box and what's that from?
Happens all the time. Yeah, so that's a classic example. That's if that's not on. This has some protection on it, so if someone just went woo with the microphone, like has happened in the past, it actually has a protection system to prevent the speakers from being completely blown.
Yeah.
It may not save the tweeters, but it will save the actual cones.
Yeah.
These have inbuilt protection as well, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, but these don't have I don't think they have a button that says override. Oh, it does. They actually have an override protection button. There's a protection light there too.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
It's all taped up so they can't switch it off.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that gives you some perspective on how that sound system works. And is there any questions about that, or
No, that's good.
you're getting the idea of the flow?
Yep.
The order of things,
Yep.
and the idea that the humble sound person is there to serve the band,
Yep.
but also to serve the congregation and make sure it's a safe environment for the worship, so to speak. So,
Yeah, that's good.
excellent. All right, well, thank you for your time, and yeah, good.